good, YouTube? It's Sean here, and today I'm back to review the Nike Epic React Flyknit in the College Navy and Racer Blue colorway. So the Nike Epic React is Nike's newest running silhouette. These dropped on February 22nd for a US retail price of $150 and a Canadian retail price of $200. In addition to this one, Nike also released a white version which I ended up picking up, and there was a couple other colorways as well. So honestly speaking, all the colorways were really nice and I was really tempted to get them all, but unfortunately my wallet wouldn't have been happy with me, so I settled on these two, which I consider to be the OG colorways. For the purpose of the review, I'm going to focus my attention on this colorway because this is my favorite of the two. So the official colorway for this shoe is College Navy, Racer Blue, and Pink Blast. So these were available in Canada on Nike.ca, as well as in physical Nike stores, as well as in select independent running boutiques. So Nike React, which is found in the name of this shoe, is the all-new foam cushioning technology that was originally introduced last summer. So the main difference between the Hyperdunk and the Jordan shoe that featured React foam compared to this one, obviously aside from the fact that those are basketball shoes and this one is a running shoe, is the fact that this shoe features React foam that's not encased in a separate carrier foam. So this means that the entire midsole of this shoe is comprised of Nike React in its true untainted form. So the entire upper of the shoe is comprised of Nike Flyknit. So as you take a look at the toe box, you can see that this middle portion of the toe is comprised of this Flyknit weave that's a bit more loose. And then surrounding the edges of the toe box, this becomes a much more tightly wound Flyknit. The reason for this is that it retains that airflow and the ventilation through the middle portion of the shoe, but it doesn't sacrifice the durability found on the outer edges. This shoe is constructed in this booty-like fit, meaning the tongue is connected to the rest of the shoe. The Flyknit found on the tongue is much more stretchy and much more elastic compared to the Flyknit found on the rest of the shoe. Where the eyelets are, we have this fused material that's overlaid on top of the Flyknit. This gives it that extra durability and ensures you don't rip the Flyknit when you're tightening up your shoes really tightly. Found on the midfoot of both the lateral side as well as the medial side, we have this Nike swoosh done in this navy color. This is fused directly onto the Flyknit. Speaking about the Flyknit, while the majority of the shoe's Flyknit is done in this college navy color, if you take a closer look at this midfoot, you can see that it slowly transitions to a black colored Flyknit towards the back end of the shoe. There's no additional lining on the shoe, so the interior of the shoe is entirely done in Flyknit except for the back heel portion where Nike applied this synthetic suede to help prevent slippage and blisters. Taking a look at the back of the shoe, we have this Racer Blue colored heel cup, and on the medial side of the heel cup, we have this Nike word mark done in this glossy finish. Unlike a lot of other running shoes, this heel cup is actually kind of soft and kind of flexible, so it's not like your standard hard TPU heel cup. At the very center of the heel, we have this yellow nylon pull tab that has this Epic React branding done in black, and then underneath this, we have this hit of 3M. These do come with this insole that can be removed. It's done in this blue color, and it features a pink Nike swoosh on the heel. So this Epic React sits atop this full-length React foam midsole. So in this case, the React foam is done in a light blue color, and then towards the heel portion of the shoe, we have this hit of Pink Blast, and what this is what Nike calls a heel shelf, and having this hit of plastic is supposed to increase the stability of the back heel and help prevent your foot from rocking when it lands. So this midsole is done in one single piece of React foam. As opposed to combining different elements and different pieces to create the midsole, this allowed them to shed a lot of weight off the shoe. In addition, you'll probably notice that they carved away certain parts of the midsole, and this also helps in the weight department as well. As I flip the shoe over to the bottom, as you can probably tell, the majority of this outsole is done in Nike React foam. The only portions that have this rubber overlay can be found along the forefoot, which is done in this gradient blue sort of color, and also on the bottom heel. We also have a Nike swoosh debossed out of the foam found on the medial edge of the heel. So despite what the outsole looks like, Nike claims that this shoe is actually very durable, and in fact they claim that this shoe is supposed to feel brand new even after running in them for 300 plus miles. Whether or not that's true, that remains to be seen, but I'm sure the more and more people start to run in these, we're going to get stronger evidence either supporting or refuting Nike's claims. In terms of the sizing on these Epic Reacts, Nike's website recommends true to size if you're going to be running in them, or half a size up if you prefer a looser fit. So my feet actually measures as a true 10.25, slightly wide on the Brannick device, which is that foot measuring device that you see in shoe stores everywhere. So for this shoe, I got them in a size 10.5. I did originally get the size 10, it was perfectly fine from a length perspective, but because my feet are slightly on the wider side, and when I did wear thicker socks, it felt absolutely way too constricting from a width perspective. Sizing up to a 10.5 gave me a little bit extra room along the toe, which I wasn't too crazy about, but it was much more comfortable from a width perspective. If anything, the most snug portion of this shoe can be found in this middle portion right here of the midfoot. To give you guys a point of reference, I got these in a 10.5, which is the same size that I would get in the Vapor Max or the Flyknit Racer. So now to the most important part of this review, how do these Epic Reacts feel on feet? So the shoe itself is super lightweight, and this React midsole is actually the real deal. Nike sought out to create a foam that was both soft and responsive, which historically was pretty impossible to achieve both. The analogy that Nike makes is picture you're wearing slippers standing on a mattress with springs underneath. So based on just my personal opinion and my personal experience, I did not run in these, so these are going to be worn just casually. But in my time wearing these and walking around, they felt super soft, especially underneath the heel. And this shoe sort of had that characteristic of the Nike Zoom Fly, where it kind of propels you forward. So this shoe sort of had that sensation as well. On the flip side though, in terms of things I didn't love, number one, it was kind of difficult to get my foot into the shoe. So the ankle collar area and the midfoot area was kind of snug. In addition, I would have preferred if more of the shoe featured this stretchier, softer Flyknit compared to the Flyknit found on the toe box, which was much more stiff and a bit more scratchy feeling. And now to answer the question you all probably have been waiting the entire video for, how does the Nike Epic React compare to the Adidas Ultra Boost? The short answer is these Epic Reacts are a legitimate contender to take the Ultra Boost crown. Unbiasedly speaking, I love both of these shoes. I would have to say that the Epic Reacts feature a softer and more plush midsole, whereas the Ultra Boost feature a more responsive midsole. How much of that is due to the Epic Reacts having a thicker midsole compared to the Ultra Boost, or how much of that is actually due to Boost versus React foam, I can't really answer that, but these definitely had more of that cloud-like feeling, whereas the Ultra Boost had more of that springy-like feeling. Between PrimeKnit and Flyknit, Flyknit definitely felt thinner, more breathable, but much more scratchy, whereas the PrimeKnit felt thicker, more substantial, and much softer on my feet. The Epic Reacts definitely felt more minimal. It was basically like I was wearing a sock with a thick midsole underneath, whereas the Ultra Boost definitely had more support, more containment, and it felt more like a proper shoe. At the end of the day, it really depends on your feet and what sort of cushioning setup you're personally looking for. I definitely recommend trying them both on and forming a decision for yourself. Don't rely on other people, myself included, to make a decision for you. Ultimately, it's your feet, your judgment, and your opinion. So with all that being said, now let me lace up these Nike Epic Reacts and show you guys how these look on feet. Overall, I'd say that Nike has definitely lived up to their marketing campaign, and these Epic Reacts are for sure one of the more comfortable shoes in my collection. I'm really excited to see what the future has in store for this shoe. Whether that means future colorways, future collabs, or whatnot, the sky is truly the limit. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys picked up a pair of the Nike Epic React Flyknit. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give me that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and give me a follow on my Instagram at SGO8. You can also check out my website at seango.ca. And until next time, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully this video helped you, and I'll catch you guys in my next review.